YouTube, we are back, and it's time for Chris Hanson. Chris Hanson. He wants you to have a seat. Have a seat right over there, because he's about to break down everything that happened between him and EDP before that documentary. They showed like a few minutes of Chris Hanson talking to EDP in the documentary, and the stuff that they were talking about, you could just tell Chris Hanson, and you could see it in his face, in his eyes. This man wants to jump out of that chair, put his hands around EDP's throat, and just choke the life out of him. And I don't blame him, because EDP is a sicko. Um, let's watch this interview, man, because I didn't know that they were going to release this whole thing, and this is going to be a banger. This is going to be a banger.
Last week on Have a Seat, we spoke with Mike Klum, the director and filmmaker who put together a documentary called The Sick Mind of EDP445. Incredibly well done. Well, on this episode of Have a Seat with Chris Hanson, you are going to see my entire interview with Bryant Moreland, EDP445, that I conducted a while back for Mike Klum's documentary. Hold on, you're in for a ride. Who is EDP445?
He is a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan that is kind of obsessed with the team. He loves to have fun. He loves to be wild. He loves to enjoy himself and have a good time, and at the same time making sure that his friends and family are taken care of.
Is he a predator?
No.
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 What does EDP445 mean? What does it stand for?
Stands for Eat That Pussy 445.
And who came up with that?
He said those.
I remember, I think it was like back in 2000, what was it? Like 2010, 2011. I was sitting back at the computer desk. I was actually watching porn, to be honest with you. And I wanted to just make like I wanted to make a YouTube channel, but I wasn't really sure what to call it, you know? And I chose that name, and I just closed my eyes and I just typed random numbers upon the keyboard. And it was actually 6 numbers, but I just narrowed it down to 3. And 445 was what was left.
EDP445.
If I'm not mistaken, he stood on the scale in the documentary, and he looked down, and it said he was 445 pounds. That's what the scale read, and I think that's why he said he used those numbers.
Yeah, they're...
Who is Alex Rosen?
Alex Rosen, I'm guessing, is a guy that decided to, he's on his vigilante quest to go out and try to catch predators, but in my honest opinion, in a very unprofessional way.
How did he first come into contact with you?
I first came into contact with him during the whole the whole setup stage.
Sting operation.
Yeah, sting operation in Bakersfield over there on Mount Vernon. I parked at the Rite Aid across the street. I mean, you've seen the video, right?
Right.
Parked at the Rite Aid across the street, walked over. There's like apartments that go up in like a slope, kind of, you know what I mean? Parked right here, walked over, and as I was walking up, he must have been hiding, I'm guessing, by the wall where the Jack in the Box was. You know, I didn't see him, obviously. Came up from behind, and that's the first time I ever met him.
Why did you show up that day? Why did you go to that location? What did you think was going to happen?
I showed up to that location that day, trying to, obviously meet up with an underage girl. You know what I mean? And,
You know what I mean?
I guess you can say, I don't know, trying to have sex. I don't know. I mean, whatever.
You trying to have sex with a 13-year-old girl?
For the most part, yep.
That's a crime.
Of course.
Why did you do it?
Well, see, the thing is, right? A lot of people have to, and again, I'm not justifying it. I'm just trying
Well,
to.
you shouldn't justify it because it's
Right.
not justifiable. It's a crime.
Right. But at the same time, I'm trying to.
It's predatory.
Right, I understand, and I'm trying to get people to understand, where I was in that state of mind at that time. You know what I mean? The thing is with YouTube, right, and it all kind of goes back to whatever. The thing is with YouTube is that, being that popular and having that much money and having that much of a following and stuff, the power kind of gets to your head. You know what I mean? You kind of get the big head a little bit. You know what I mean? You kind of have this whole sensation, and this whole tendency of, you think that you can't be touched. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, but let's talk about what led up to that, right? Because he just mentioned earlier that he was watching porn, right? Corn, I should say. Yeah, bro. Stop watching porn. Don't watch porn, guys. I am so serious. I do not watch porn because then you might just end up like Mr. 445 right here.
and that's pretty much why I showed up. You know what I mean? Very lonely. Didn't really have anybody to interact with. You know what I mean? So,
But there's being lonely and preying upon a 13-year-old girl.
you're right.
Being lonely is finding somebody who is of legal age, whether it requires you spending money or whatever it requires to be with and to do what you need to do to not be lonely. This is a sexually charged conversation with someone who told you she was 13.
Right.
Sophie,
Mm-mm.
who reached out to whom first?
She did,
She reached out to you.
or Alex Rosen, or whoever it was. I'm not,
Alex Rosen posed as a 13-year-old girl.
yeah, that's what I'm guessing. I don't.
I just found your YouTube channel. Why are you so funny? She says. You say, because I keep it real on those. That's why. I'm 13. I don't know if I told you. Yeah, you told me. We're just chatting. We cool. That makes up you and about 99% of my no pussy getting fan base. Okay. Bet. So she makes it clear,
Right.
or Alex Rosen posing as this girl makes it clear that she's 13.
Right.
And the conversation gets sexual,
Right.
graphically sexual. There's grooming.
Right.
You seem so shy and nervous, you say. Yeah, haha, I was nervous. My hands were sweaty. There's no need to be nervous. Just be yourself. Sophie says, you're a YouTuber. I watch and I got to talk to you. It made me nervous. Oh, that's so adorable. Remember, I'm just normal. What are you thinking at that point? What's going on in your head when you're having that discussion at that stage of the chat?
I mean, it's been almost 4 years ago, dude. I'm still like,
But we're not talking about a passing conversation with someone whose age you didn't know. This was someone who made it very clear
right.
that she was 13.
Look at that face. Chris Hansen is not playing. I think he's super pissed that they let EDP get away. And he's like he's like a lion just staring at a little zebra. Just wants to eat him alive, bro. You can see it in his face.
How old were you at the time? 30?
29, 30, somewhere around there, yeah.
She says, I'm always cold. Oh, poor thing. Wish I could hug you, warm you up. When and where, she says. Hopefully soon. I just don't want to come off as weird. It comes off as pretty weird to me. Do you regret any of this?
Of course. Of course I do. You know what I mean? And, obviously there's been people out there that say that, oh, he has no remorse or no regret. Listen, man, they're entitled to their own opinion. Trust me, I get it. You know what I mean? But it's like, you can't sit back and say like, I don't have any regrets or no remorse. It's like, you don't even like, they're not in my head. They don't know what I'm going through 24/7 for them to even make that type of statement. You know what I mean? So
You blocked her at some point.
right.
What was behind that?
I knew that it was wrong. It was highly illegal. And I knew that it was the right thing to do at the time. Then I unblocked her, obviously.
Why did you unblock her? Had you just blocked her and been done with it, and done the right thing then, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation today. You would still likely have a YouTube channel making a lot of money and not the scourge of the internet for being a predator.
That channel will be gone, but still, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Why didn't you just keep her blocked? Why did you open the door again to let her in?
Like I mentioned before, just being lonely, not really having anybody to confide in, to communicate with, you know what I mean? Not really having any hobbies around the house, you know what I mean? So, and pretty much my life at the time was like, let me see, wake up, do cameos, different shout out videos, stuff like that.
Yeah, I apologize if y'all keep hearing that noise in the background. That's my air conditioner. I don't have soundproofing yet. But yeah, you keep hearing the air conditioner cut on and off, so sorry about that. Just bear with me.
Nobody your age you could have hung out with.
No.
No women your age you could date. You had to pick on a 13-year-old girl.
Pretty much, yeah.
You laugh at this.
Well, I mean, I know where you're trying to go at this. And
I know where I'm going with it because it's wrong.
Right, I know.
It's illegal. Had Alex Rosen not botched this, you might be in prison right now.
Thank God he didn't.
Well, you could look at it two ways. Maybe prison is where you belong because of this.
If it was where I belong, I'd be in shackles right now. So, and that's not me. Like, that's not me upon being nonchalant about it or anything like that. I mean, see, the thing is with me, it's like I've been, I've had 3.5 coming up on 4 years to deal with this. You know what I mean? Back and forth conversations, had enough time to think about it and whatever. You know what I mean? My thing is this, man, and I don't want to come off as like, I don't give a damn about it. It's this or it's that. Like, my entire thing about it is like, I've moved on and I've tried to I'm doing what I have to do. I'm not going to sit back and dwell on something that's like,
But there are people who think you should have gone to prison for this.
Right. Right, I understand
and you see why they would think that.
Right, I understand. Totally.
You admit in the conversation with this Sophie, I can't do this. Honestly, we can be friends and be cool. I can't do this shit. This is something I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life. I hope you aren't upset or angry by this. At this point, you seem to be seriously concerned about having sex with this girl who told you that she's a virgin.
Right.
If you had walked away at this point, none of this goes down.
Right.
What made you come back?
I've already mentioned it, man. Loneliness. You know what I mean? Not getting out the house, not really.
Corn. He's watching way too much corn. Way too much corn. You can see it in the documentary. The guy is literally just stroking himself the entire documentary.
Again, it all goes back to the whole, and not necessarily saying people, you see this all the time or whatever. It's people have a tendency of doing this, I feel like, because they are, I guess you can say they're curious. You know what I mean? They enjoy the innocence and having control of somebody.
Sounds like that's what you wanted to do.
Right.
When you hear the word predator, you probably think of the criminals I've spent my career exposing. But today's predators don't always come knocking at your door, and they don't need to break in to steal from you.
Yeah,
it's called title fraud. With forged paperwork and a signature, these criminals can claim control of your property on record.
Shut up, Chris Hanson.
HomeTitleLock.com.
Shut up, Chris Hanson.
Or use the link below.
Now we want to get back to the
So what else do you like, she asks. You say, as far as sex goes, sure. Well, of course, oral. And I also like role play.
No.
That's basically where you dress up and pretend to be someone else, or you pretend to be daddy's little girl. But all that stuff is further down the road. Can't wait to kiss you. You're making me feel all types of ways, she says. Tell me how you feel. Just let it out and be honest. Or should I come kiss and hold your hand and force it out of you? just keep kissing you and nibbling on you until you say it. And I
Oh,
know the
God.
perfect stop, too. I'll nibble on your ear. Trust me, that's most girls' weak spots. She's 13. And you're grooming her. You acknowledge it's wrong. You block her. You seem to have a conscience for a little bit.
Right.
Why didn't you just keep her blocked?
You know,
Because he went back home and he started watching that corn. I'm telling you. It got him all riled up and he just couldn't control it no more. Oh, my God.
I mean, I don't really know how many times I have to say it, man. It's been like, loneliness, not, I mean, like, I'm not sure what you want me to.
Well, I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to understand why you didn't leave it when you should have left it. I'm trying to understand what was going on in your mind, why you behaved the way you did, and how someone who had such a successful social media career could have it all blow up for this. And I think a lot of America, a lot of the people who followed you,
Right.
who consumed your content, had the same questions.
I mean,
it's all right.
I don't really know what you want me to say.
I don't want you to say anything except tell me the truth.
That is the truth. I was lonely as hell. I wasn't really going outside. Really didn't have much of a life outside of YouTube. You know what I mean? Really didn't have much success talking to women, even in high school, even after high school, you know what I mean? Always, always afraid of rejection, you know what I mean? That's not an excuse, not saying that, just trying to get you to understand.
Right. And as you know, I've confronted hundreds of predators.
Right.
Reporting on them.
Right.
And people ask me all the time, why do they do this? Even when some of them know, many of them, most of them know it's wrong. And so I'm posing the question to you, who got caught being a predator.
I think a lot of people more so do it because, if anything, they're more so bored.
Bored.
Yeah, they don't really have anything to do.
Did you ever?
Okay, you telling me you bored, EDP, but you weigh 400 pounds? Take your bored ass to the gym. Start working out. Get fit. Get healthy. Maybe it'll be easier to talk to a grown woman. I hate when people make excuses for stuff like this, bro. I was bored.
Ever have sex with someone
Man,
you met
shut
online
up.
like this?
No.
You looked down when you said that.
Where else you want me to look? You want me to look up and nod? No, I didn't.
This was the only time that you met somebody who said they were underage online.
Well, I mean, then there was also Kayla the second time.
Right. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I mean, you said sex, but I said,
Well, but that's where you were headed to meet this 13-year-old girl, was for sex, right?
well, yeah, I mean, but meeting up with somebody and having sex are two different things. So
What?
Oh my God, babe, it's a playful spank, you say. When I spank you, it's supposed to be sexy, LOL. If anything, I just bend you over and kiss your ass. Oh, that's hot, she says. Probably lick at some too. Lick my cheeks? Yes, well, maybe, but only if you're a good girl.
Oh my
I want to
God.
lick something else too. If you keep being mean to me, I'll be forced to punish you, and LOL, and you have to guess. I'm going to get you out of your shy and comfort zone. What are you trying to do here with this?
what do you think I'm trying to do?
Well, it sounds like you're trying to sexually assault a 13-year-old girl.
If that's what it looks like, I guess that's what it is then. I mean,
Handcuff you. Throw you in the back of my car and bring you back to my dungeon, LOL.
Damn.
You talk about climbing through a window. You're so hot and cute and even had me jerking off. Were you masturbating when you were talking to her?
Damn.
You sent her pictures?
Yeah.
You sent her pictures of your penis? Oh,
Yeah.
it'll be okay, baby, I promise. I'll go slow, to the speed of your liking. Whatever you don't want to do, I won't do. But if you enjoy it and want it in all the way, then I shall satisfy my princess. This is a 13-year-old girl who's never had sex before. And you are setting up a situation where you would be her first sexual encounter.
13 or 20. Because there's there's rumors out there. 13.
Chris Hanson's about to beat his ass.
The decoy was 20. Alex Rosen.
No. But in the scenario, you thought you were talking to a 13-year-old girl.
Right.
So let's not bullshit around about that.
Oh, yeah, I ain't bullshitting. I got you.
Okay, all right. If there was a 13-year-old girl here who was willing to have sex, you would have had sex with her in all likelihood, and that would have been her very first experience, potentially scarring her for the rest of her life.
Scar?
Sure.
And you're talking about this like it's just something I did because I was lonely.
It is. I mean, what else you want me to like?
Well, I know, but don't you think this
Damn,
stuff's
like-
true? The thought of your pretty, cute, sassy-ass little mouth sucking on me is incredible. Can't wait to see how you suck on it. I want to eat your pussy. How? Basically saying I want to eat your pussy is like basically just sucking on it and licking on it. And then you show up. What do you think would have happened had there been a 13-year-old girl?
He would have just got a
Probably would
cupcake.
have had sex.
And what do you think that would have done to that 13-year-old girl?
Oh, scarred her.
Damn.
Just scarred her? You're that casual about it?
I mean, scarred her.
He would have also completely smashed her into a pancake because, I mean, like 445 pounds, that ain't no joke.
Tormented her. Emotionally disturbed, PTSD. It would have been a horrible thing for her.
Do you feel guilty still to this day?
Of course. Of course I do. You know what I mean? I'm not,
But you're treating this like it's some casual thing.
It's been 3.5, 4 years ago. I've moved on. Like, I have a life to live, man. I can't just sit back and dwell on shit and not move on and not have a life. You know what I mean? Like,
Do you remember the moment in your head when you decided I'm going to go meet her?
yeah.
Tell me about that.
I was sitting up on the couch. I called up my friend Philippe, who originally told me don't go. It's a setup. You know what I mean? And originally I wasn't going to go. She called me back a second. Well, there was the first time she called, I believe. First time she called, we were going to meet up. Then I called my friend Philippe. He told me not to go. It was a setup.
Philippe,
Then
why you didn't call the police?
I believe I messaged her. I told her I can't do this, can't go. It's highly illegal and it's wrong. She then started crying, telling me that, my parents are gone. I just wanted to give you a cupcake, whatever. And me personally, I genuinely felt bad. So I decided to go. And it's crazy because what I'm about to tell you is it's a blessing in disguise. At the time, I'm not sure if you know, but I owned a lot of firearms and stuff. And I actually had a Glock 17 on my counter, which I was actually going to end up taking with me in case, shit went sideways, And I took it with me, but I walked back into the house and I left it on the counter.
You were going to bring a gun with you to that meeting.
And it's a good thing I didn't bring it with me, because if I had of, and Alex Rosen and the whole camera crew would have came, yeah, I'd probably be going down for 3 counts of murder in the first degree.
You would have shot Alex Rosen and his crew.
Yeah.
Shot him dead.
Yeah.
You truly believe that?
Oh yeah, I truly believe it. Blessing in disguise, man. So I left it at home.
What makes you so sure that you would have pulled that Glock 17 out and killed all 3 of them?
The thing is, right, when you're in that situation and you like the whole, fight or flight thing comes into play. I'm not sure if you heard that before. Like your ass is on the line and you don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your big ass ain't flying away nowhere.
You know that these people are here to, potentially try and attempt to ruin your damn life. You will do all type of wild shit. Not saying that I didn't take any role in that. Obviously, you know what I mean? I could have just said hell no and just not have went,
Which would have been the right thing to do, by the way.
Right, totally. Yeah, I mean, I've there's been times, like, even since moving out here, I was a gun owner and stuff like that. And I would go to the range and stuff like that. This is probably about like 6 months to maybe a year after. So see, it happened in 2021. So maybe like summer of 2022. You know what I mean? So around there, I would go to the range, and I would, in my mind, when I'm at the range. Now I'm talking about, full on arsenal, fucking Scar 17, AK-47. I had it all at my disposal. You know what I mean? In my mind, while I'm shooting the target, I'm killing Alex Rosen, all the fucking people, Master at Work, all those people, that that partook in this. You know what I mean? There's been times where like I've literally told a friend of mine, do me a favor, come over here, change the combination to this goddamn gun safe. I don't feel safe having these things around me.
Because you were going to strike out at Alex Rosen, or because you were going to kill yourself?
I was going to strike out at a mixture of both. I guess you can say, the Alex Rosen thing already had happened.
Right.
You feel me?
But
so more so myself.
Were you still angry at him that you would go hunt him down and kill him?
Oh yeah. I mean, there were multiple times where I've had, I've still had like loyal, like followers and fans and stuff hit me up on Instagram and stuff. They're like, I don't condone doxing people no matter whatever they did. You know what I mean? They were like hitting me up and like, yo, man, we have his address. You know what I mean? And in my mind, and even in my sister's mind, not my sister's mind, more so like my friend Kelvin's mind, who I went to high school with. Me and him were having a deep-rooted conversation and stuff, and he's all like, well, obviously, yeah, what you did was wrong. I'm not going to say that it was right. He's like, but at the same time, he's like, I've been knowing you for a long time. I know that you're a good person. He's all like, but at the same time, and I'm not switching the blame here. That's not what I'm doing. Okay. He's like, at the same time, what they did was very dangerous. Like, who's to say you can't find their address or load up your car full of guns, drive to Texas and go fucking murder them all?
Okay. We're going to stop right there because this is getting crazy. But, yeah, like one of his friends, EDP literally tells him, hey, I'm about to go meet up with this 13-year-old, blah, blah, blah. And his friend is like, don't go, dude. It's a setup. Bro, call the cops. This man just told you he's about to go meet with a 13-year-old girl. What kind of... And then his followers on his YouTube channel are giving him addresses to people's houses to go and shoot them. What are we even talking about? Y'all are a bunch of demons. Man, this video getting too long. We're gonna stop right here, and we'll watch the second half a little bit later. All right, YouTube. Crow out.